Hey everybody, welcome to Misty Moon Designs. I hope you're doing well. I have a very special treat for you today. I'm going to be opening up the GGC Treasure Bag, the latest release, which came out not too long ago. And then right afterwards, we'll jump into a project. Now, if you want to skip the first part, I'll leave some timestamps down below if you want to go straight to the tutorial. And if you're not familiar with the GGC Treasure Bag, I'll leave some information down below along with a link to the website in case you're interested. As you can see, this whimsical and sparkly necklace and jewelry set features heart beads, sunflower beads, and some lovely glass leaf beads, along with other sparkly beads. So if you like sparkle, this is the perfect set for you. And of course, it's perfect for spring, which is right around the corner. And because of the colors and the leaves, this would be a perfect gift for somebody who's into the fairy core. It's definitely very magical looking. Now the necklace itself sits at the collarbone, so it's not a very big necklace, even though it may seem that way. I want you to stick around to the end because I will model it for you, so you'll see exactly how it looks on. And I can't wait to show you how to make it, but let's go ahead and take a peek at the GGC Treasure Bag first, and then we'll jump into the project. And here we have the latest release of the GGC Treasure Bag. I believe it was launched on the 18th of January. It's not a subscription, it's a limited edition, which means that once they're sold out, that's it. And let me tell you guys, they sell out very, very quickly. And the reason they sell out is because they come loaded with lots of long strands, so you get a lot for your money. And I believe this one sold for about $45. I'm not sure if they all sell for that amount, but that's how much this one sold for. Of course, it's currently sold out. But I wanted to show you in case you're interested. The best thing to do is to go to the website and sign up for notifications. That way, when they get ready to release a bag, you won't miss out. They come out every other month, and there's usually two of them, two colorways. This one's the purple one. It's called Amethyst Accents, and of course, I love it because purple is my favorite color. And there was a second one released called Opalite Accents. That's one of the nice things about the GGC Treasure Bag. You get two color choices. There aren't a lot of companies that do that. But anyway, guys, look how big this bag is. Can you believe it? It is huge. Let me take out the items. And it comes with a list of contents. And it looks like there are 26 items in this month's bag. So that's quite a few. But I'm seeing other colors as well. Let me get organized and we'll go through each item. Here are the first 5 strands. There are 10 strands in this collection, and they're all super long. They range in length from 15 to 22 inches, if you can believe that. 22 is quite long. Let's take a look at this one. Look how sparkly these are. Oh my goodness. They're beautiful. They really are. This is a 22-inch strand, and these are English cut electroplated glass beads. And here we have another 22-inch strand. These are bicone beads, and the color is pink. Here we have some faceted cube beads, and the color is pink. And here we have a very nice strand of amethyst rounds. These measure 6 millimeters in size, and this is a 15-inch strand. And here are some smaller ones. These are dyed amethyst round beads, and these measure 4 millimeters in size, and this is a 16-inch strand. So far, I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Let me get some more strands. And here we have the next 5 strands. I'm so happy to see different sizes and different shapes. Let's take a look at these. These measure 8 by 6 millimeters, and they're rondelles, as you can see. They're listed as purple with half gold, which means that half the bead is plated with gold. It's kind of a cross between purple and grayish. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but the purple is in there. Here we have some very pretty glass pearl beads. These measure 6 millimeters in size, and the strand is 15 inches long. And if you can believe this, the color is actually listed as pale pink. And here we have some more sparkle. These are electroplated glass rondelle beads, and they measure 4 by 3 millimeters. The color is pink, and this is a 16-inch strand. And here's a very fun strand of freshwater shell beads. They're disc beads, as you can see. They kind of look like heishi beads. They measure 6 millimeters across, but there is a little bit of variation. And here we have some synthetic turquoise. It's white turquoise. It's actually a creamy white color. And these measure 5 by 3 millimeters, and this is a 15-inch strand. So anyway, these are the strands, a total of 10 in this bag. Now that we've looked at the strands, let's take a look at the loose items. Here we have the next 5 items. And guys, there's something here for everybody. Whether you like large beads, small beads, or something in between, you're going to find it in the GGC Treasure Bags. Look at this variety, and I love the finish on these beads. It's so pretty. Let's take a look at these leaf beads. These are spray painted glass leaf beads, and the color is lavender, and they measure 21 by 14 by 2.5 millimeters. They drill down the center from top to bottom, I believe. Let me see. Actually, no, I was wrong. They're drilled at the top from front to back, as you can see. I'm going to slide these on one of my rods. These are amethyst rounds, and they're 12 millimeters in diameter. They're the exact same color as the 6 millimeters that I showed you a few minutes ago. So that's nice because you can make a pair of earrings and use one as a focal if you wanted to on a necklace, or you could simply use these on a bracelet. Here we have some very happy looking electroplated sunflower beads. They're glass beads, and look how pretty these are. The color is Orchid, and these measure 15 by 9 millimeters, and there are 12 in the bag. As you can see, there are some more down there. And here we have some very beautiful heart beads. These are also electroplated, just like the sunflower beads. And of course, they're perfect for Valentine's, which is coming up real soon. The color of these is teal and purple, and these measure 13 by 15 millimeters, and there are 8 total. Look how adorable these are. I love that they have one color on one side and another color on the other side. Actually, they're clear on this side, I think. It's just reflecting from the plating on that side. Here we have some 8 millimeter rounds. These are electroplated, and they have a flower pattern on the surface, as you can see. Look how beautiful that is. But anyway, the electroplated color is purple, although I'm seeing different colors. I'm seeing pink and variations of pink as well. And there are 10 pieces total, as you can see. Here's the other 5. So this gives you another design option. Let me get some more beads. And here we have the next 5 items. And look at this, guys. We have an Indonesian bead. I don't think I've ever seen those in GGC Treasure Bags. They're handmade. Let's take a look. I love the beautiful crystals along the center. Look at that. They have an AB finish. It measures 19.5 millimeters. What's nice about these is that they come with inlaid bead caps, as you can see. How pretty is this bead? They're perfect for boho designs. And of course, they make a gorgeous focal on a necklace. And here I have 6 of them. There's a total of 12. These are faceted rondelles, and they're electroplated, and they measure 10 by 8 millimeters. They're so pretty. And here we have some butterfly beads. There's a total of 5, as you can see. They're actually handmade lampwork glass beads, and they measure 15 by 8 millimeters, and the color is pink. These are so precious. I like how they look on my rod like this. I think now if you've been following my channel, you'll know that I love the botanical theme, and these are perfect for that. These are glass leaf beads, and of course the color is purple. And we get quite a few. There's actually a total of 20, as you can see, so that's very generous. And here we have a kind of a bead mix. These are some of them. They're not all of them. As you can see, there are more down there. They're listed as glass and crystal mix. We have some crystal Q beads here, some saucer beads, and some glass drop beads as well. And I love this beautiful shade of lavender. There's a total of 18 pieces if you include these. I'm already getting some ideas. I love bead mixes. Let me get the next few items. Here are the last few items. And look at these beautiful pendants. And these are all amethyst. And here we have some metal components. We have some chain and some toggle clasps. So you're getting a lot of essential items to be able to make lots and lots of pieces. Look at this pretty pendant. Oh my goodness. It's so beautiful. I love amethyst. It's hexagon shaped, as you can see. And it has a platinum tone pinch bail, which you could actually remove if you wanted to, if you didn't want to use it. I've done that before. But that's a very pretty bail, actually. And I may end up using it. Look at this, guys. Wow, I love the back. It's a flower design. How pretty is that? And it's very glossy too, very shiny. It's listed as flowers and amethyst pendant, and it measures 37.5 by 12 millimeters. And this one has a bail as well. A very pretty bail with a leaf design. And I love this flower detail too. This is another very pretty pendant. It's an amethyst drop pendant, and it measures 38 by 26 by 8 millimeters. How gorgeous is that metal? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. It really is. It has a nice big loop, so if you wanted to remove this bail, you could. But I love this stone. We have various components here. These two look like they have stones embedded on the surface. Let me take a look. Yep, they do have stones. They're micro pave rhinestones. Now it's not on the back, but it's nicely finished on the back, as you can see. and my cat's knocking on my door. I don't know if you can hear him. And I say knocking, but his method of knocking is meowing. But anyway, these measure 15 by 18 by 2 millimeters. And of course, there's a total of 2. So you can make a pair of earrings if you wanted to. Let me go ahead and let my cat in. Come on. And let's take a look at this pendant. I love the big loop. And I love this beautiful infinity design. There's the back. It has a hammered effect on the back. Very, very nice. I like the option of having something other than gemstones or glass beads for a pendant. Now these 2 beads are interesting looking because they're bent. How cool is that? And they do have a flower design. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. It has little flowers along the surface. Same thing on this side. There's the hole. Let's take a look at this flower bead cap. I like using these for tassels, for example. I like to create tassels and hang them from underneath. You can place a bead there as well, a large bead. I like that it has a nice big hole as well. And of course we have some chain here. And there's 1 meter's worth of chain. And it's cable chain, as you can see. The size of these links are very appropriate for the size of the pendants, because the pendants are on the larger side. So you wouldn't want to use anything dainty on them. And of course we have these toggle clasps. The diameter of the ring is 17 millimeters and the bar measures 24 millimeters this way. It's nice that they listed that. A lot of times you don't get those measurements. You get one measurement and then you have to guess, is it the ring or is it the bar? But anyway, now you know. And there's a total of 5, so that's very generous. 5 sets. So now what I'd like to do is arrange everything on my table so we can see the whole collection. So I'll see you in a few moments. Well, here's the whole collection, and don't you love all this variety? Like I said before, there's something here for everybody. But what I'm really impressed about is the sheer volume of beads and the super long strands. There's so much to choose from, and you're going to be able to make so many things with all these beads. And Boo Boo says hello. He's actually on my lap right now. He's such a good boy. He knows not to get on the table, although sometimes he does when he takes liberties, but not very often. But anyway, guys, if you have time, I would love to hear your feedback. If you could leave some comments down below, I'd really appreciate that. Please let me know what your favorites are. So now that we've taken a look at the contents of this collection, let's go ahead and jump into today's project. Here are the beads for today's necklace. And as you can see, I've chosen quite a few different ones. And guys, there are no rules. You can choose whichever beads you want to from the collection or from your own stash. It really doesn't matter. I do recommend that you use leaf beads like these because they're top drilled from right to left, which means it'll be easier for you to create a nice long length. And I'll explain why in just a few moments. And we're going to use 22 gauge wire today. And this color is actually called Hematite, but honestly, it looks kind of like a bronzy color to me. I have been told by viewers that the Hematite wire looks different. It looks more grayish, but I don't know if it's to do with the brand. This one's by Beadsmith, and it's the Wire Elements line. But anyway, this is the Hematite color. And I'm going to start with an 18-inch piece, but it all depends on how long you want the viney portion of the necklace to be. You might choose to do something shorter or something longer. But anyway, here's my 18-inch piece. I'm going to start by sliding on a sunflower bead. And I'm going to bring it to the center. Let me see if that's the center. That's approximately the center. And now I'm going to slide on one of these pink beads. Bring it down. So that's what we have. And now a leaf bead. Let me see if I can slide it on. There we go. Bring it down. Now here's what I meant by what I said before about the leaf beads. In order to create my vine, I'm going to have to twist this wire. And I'm going to use these leaf beads to do it. Let me show you. As you can see, I have a little space there. It's between 3/16 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch, something like that. I'm going to bend the wire like this. Cross it. Like this, and now I'm going to start twisting. Let me twist it a little bit more. You do have to be careful because the wire will snap if you twist it too many times. So that's good enough. And now I'm ready to slide on more beads. If I didn't have the leaf beads, I would have to wrap the wire around one of the other beads, which you could actually do. It really doesn't matter. But it's just easier to create the twist when you have something to hold on to, like a leaf bead. So now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to slide on one of these pink beads and a leaf bead. Bring it down. By the way, that's another reason I'm using 22 gauge wire. You don't want to use really heavy gauge because you might break your beads, because obviously these are made out of glass and very fragile. So now I'm going to take this end and I'm going to bend it like this, cross it just like that, and I'm going to twist. That's good enough, I think. So now I have 2 leaf beads. Isn't that adorable? So now we're going to move on, and I think this time I'm going to use one of these rondelles. So let me slide it on. That looks pretty good. And I'm going to slide on another leaf bead. Just like that. And once again, you want to have a little bit of space there. Like I said, somewhere between 3/16 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch. And I will leave the metric numbers on the screen for those of you who use metric. So I've got the leaf bead on now, as you can see. Let me do the same thing on this side. I'm sliding on the rondelle and the leaf bead. Bring it down. Let me slide the leaf bead away from the rondelle to create some space. Bend my wire and twist. That's good enough. So that's what we have so far. I think it's super cute. It really is. Now you can flip the leaves around like this, or you can have them the other way. I'll decide in a few moments what I want to do. I haven't really decided yet. So now we need to add more beads, and I think I'm going to add a pink bead. Like that, and another leaf bead. Actually, I've changed my mind. I think I'm going to add a heart bead. This is a very organic design, guys, so don't be surprised if you're loading your beads and then you change your mind. Each time you do this, it's going to look a little different. And now the pink bead. So that's what we have. Let me move this leaf bead this way and this one this way. And now I'm going to slide on another leaf bead. Move it away from the pink bead, bend my wire, and twist. So that one's in place now. I think it looks okay so far. Let me do the same thing on this side. I'm sliding on the heart bead. And now a pink bead. Like this. And now a leaf bead. So now I'm going to go ahead and bend my wire, cross it, and twist. So now that one's in place, and I'm going to arrange all of this in a few moments. Let me go ahead and move this leaf down so it matches this side. That looks pretty nice so far. And I think I'm going to slide on one of these now. These sparkly ones. That looks good. I don't have a lot of wire left, so I have to make some decisions. And I really don't want this piece to be too long. I want to keep it kind of on the short length, no more than 4 or 5 inches. So I think I'm going to slide on one of these now these disc beads and maybe a pink bead like this. And I'm going to finish it off with a wrap. So I'm grabbing the wire with my round nose pliers like this. I'm going to bend it, switch to this part of the pliers. It all depends on how big you want your loop. Wrap the tail around the nose of the pliers, flip the pliers around, continue to wrap to the back. So now I have a loop. I'm going to grab the loop with these pliers. These are actually crimping pliers, but I like to use them for this purpose because they grab really well. Plus they have skinny tips. And now with these needle nose pliers, I'm going to grab the end and I'm going to do a couple of wraps. Using my flush cutters, I'm going to snip off the excess. And of course, I need to tuck that little end in. So now this end is finished, and now I need to do the same thing on this side. So once again, I'm going to slide on one of these cube beads, one of these disc beads, and a pink bead. I obviously have too much wire at this end, but that's okay. It's better to have more than not enough. I'm going to grab the wire with my round nose pliers, bend it, switch to this part of the pliers, wrap the tail around the nose, flip the pliers around, continue to wrap to the back, grab the loop. Let me trim off some of this wire, grab the tail, and do a couple of wraps. Snip off the excess. Tuck in that little end. Let me just straighten this loop. Same thing on this side. And that's what we have. Of course, you need to arrange your leaves, but don't fiddle with it too much because, like I said, the wire will snap if you twist it too much. Let me turn this one now so it matches the other side. And I've got to flip this heart around. And that's what we have. I think it looks lovely. You really can't go wrong with this design. Let me put it down so you can take a better look. It's definitely very whimsical. So now all we have to do is create some strands and call it a day. And I think I want to keep the strands on the simple side. I don't want to do anything too fancy. So I think I'm going to start with one of these on this side, another one on this side, and then the rest of them are going to be pink beads, and that should be good enough. So let me clear the table and I'll come back with the beads and some more wire. Okay, here are the beads we're going to be using for the strands. And I'm thinking about repeating this kind of arrangement, the cube bead and the saucer bead, but I'm not going to do it right after this one. I think I'm going to do another pink bead, and then maybe I'll add the cube bead and the saucer bead. I have limited amounts of cubes, as you can see, and disc beads as well. So by adding the 2 pink beads, it'll space them out a little bit more. And I'm just going to do wrap loops using 22 gauge wire. So here I have a 2.5 inch piece. I'm going to grab it right here, which is a little bit more than an inch down, bend it, switch to this part of the pliers, wrap the tail around the nose, flip the pliers around, continue to wrap to the back. I'm going to open up this loop, slide this loop into it, like that, grab the loop with these pliers, grab the tail, which is kind of short. I probably should have cut myself a longer piece of wire, and I'm doing 2 wraps. If you're a beginner, guys, I recommend that you cut yourself at least 3 inches if you're doing wrap loops. Of course, it depends on the size of your beads. The bigger the bead, obviously, the more wire you'll need. Let me snip off the excess. Tuck in that little tail. And now I'm going to slide on a cube bead. Actually, not a cube bead, I'm sorry, a pink bead. I keep forgetting. Like this. Let me grab the wire like this, bend it, move it down the nose of my pliers, wrap the tail around the nose, flip the pliers around, continue to wrap to the back, grab the loop, grab the tail, and do a couple of wraps. And I've got a helicopter flying overhead now. So I apologize for the noise. There's all kinds of noise up here in this room. I'm on the second level of my house by the window. So now let me snip off the excess and tuck in that little tail. And I am going to line up my loops so that they're facing the same direction. So now I've attached this component. And now I'm going to go ahead and attach a cube bead and a disc bead. I have another piece of wire. Let me grab it a little bit more than 1 inch down, bend it, switch to this part of the pliers, wrap the tail around the nose, flip the pliers around, continue to wrap to the back. I'm going to open up that loop, slide this loop into it, like that. Grab the loop with these pliers, grab the tail, and do my 2 wraps. Cut off the excess, tuck that little end in, slide on a cube bead and a disc bead, like so. Grab the wire with my round nose pliers, bend this piece, switch to this part of the pliers, wrap the tail around the nose, flip the pliers around, continue to wrap to the back, grab that loop. As you can see, I don't have a lot of wire there. I've been doing this for a long time, so I can work with short pieces like that, but it's a whole lot easier if you have a longer piece of wire, trust me. In fact, I think the next one that I'll cut will be longer. For this component anyway, because it has 2 beads. Snip off the excess, tuck in that little tail, and let me go ahead and line up my loops. And this is what we have so far. So now I'm going to add 2 more pink beads, and I may not add another one of these components now that I'm looking at it. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is save 2 of them for earrings. So basically what I'm going to do now is just finish the necklace off with the pink beads, one after the other. In other words, you want to wire wrap them separately, just like I did with this one. And of course, you're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. So let me go ahead and do it off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And as you can see, I've completed both strands. Now this necklace is going to sit at my collarbone, so I'm kind of reluctant to tell you a length, but for me, because I'm small framed, it's going to be about 17 inches, and that includes the jump rings and the clasp. Of course, you can make yours as long as you want to. The treasure bag came with plenty of these pink beads, so you can definitely make the strands longer. and it's the afternoon, so I have some lovely sunshine coming in through the windows, which I love. It makes those beads really sparkle. So now I just have to add a clasp, and I'm going to add an extended chain as well. So here I have a clasp and an extended chain, a pink bead, a ball head pin. I have a 4mm jump ring and a 6mm jump ring. So let me go ahead and embellish the extended chain. I'm going to slide on the pink bead onto the ball head pin, like that. I'm going to grab it with my round nose pliers, right above the bead, bend it, switch to this part, wrap the tail around the nose, flip the pliers around and continue to wrap to the back. I'm going to open up this loop a little bit, slide my chain into it, like that, grab the loop, grab the tail, and do a couple of wraps. Cut off the excess. Tuck in that little tail. You definitely don't want anything sharp sticking out. So there's my extended chain. And I don't need 2 small jump rings, I only need 1. I'm not sure why I put 2 down. And I just noticed this is actually not a jump ring, it's a closed ring, and I need a jump ring, so let me go get one. Here's a jump ring, I've already opened it. I'm going to slide my chain into it, like that, and I'm going to slide this loop into it as well. I'm using my bent nose pliers. I'm going to grab the jump ring and close it. So that's done. Let me open up this little jump ring now. Slide the clasp into it and this loop as well. And close it up. Now if you're right-handed, you should put your clasp on the right side of the necklace. I should have done that because this is actually the left. But that's okay, I can just spin those beads around. And now it's on the right side, as you can see. But it really doesn't matter because I think this side looks just as nice. So now to go along with this, we're going to make a pair of earrings. And I've already made one. I use the same beads that I used on the necklace. And I may just redo this because this is a bit too long. I may just have the Q bead and the heart bead. But I thought I would do it like this. For those of you who like long earrings, I've already created this component. I used 22 gauge wire and I did wrap loops, just like I did on the components of the necklace. Here's my sunflower. Here's a ball head pin and an ear wire hook. Let me show you. It's pretty easy. I'm going to slide my pin through the sunflower bead like this. Now if you'll notice, the ball of the ball head pin is in between 2 petals and it's coming out of the top of the petal. It's easier to do it like this versus trying to do the wraps at this end. I hope that makes sense. So now I'm going to grab it with my round nose pliers, bend the pin, switch to this part, wrap the pin around the nose of the pliers, flip the pliers around, continue to wrap to the back. Let me open up this loop, slide this component into it, like that. Grab the loop with my pliers, grab the tail, and do a couple of wraps. Cut off the excess. Tuck in the little tail. So now I'm going to open up the loop of this ear wire hook, like that. Slide my earring into it, and close it up. So here's my other earring. Very, very cute and very sparkly. And I do want to model it for you, so I want you to stick around for that. I hope you can make your own necklace. I think it's adorable. I love all the sparkle. It looks kind of fairy-like, very whimsical. I hope you like it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.